Welcome back to Sampstra Games, the place to find new strategy games, and welcome to my guide on research in Distant World 2. So let's start this off with some basics. If you already know about this and you want to skip ahead, you can just check the timeline below to jump to the parts that interest you. You can see the most information of research here in the research window. You open it by clicking here on this button, and here on the right top you can see the current research that you're doing. You can choose new research by either clicking here on click to explore the research tree or clicking up here on the top. And here you can pick whatever it is that you want to research. If the research is colored, then it means that you have already finished it, and if it's grayish, then it means that you haven't finished it yet. Alright, so in order to start a new research, all you have to do is click on it. Now here on the left top you can see how long it's going to take, the initiation cost, which is typically some money, and more important, some resources. So you want to make sure that you always have a variety of resources in order to be able to start this research. You can also see on the left top the current bonus for research. We'll talk more about research bonus later. Then on the bottom you can see what this research actually gives you. So these pulsed blast weapons will give us some Maxos blasters. In order to start this, all you have to do is click on it and pay the cost, and then it's going to show up here. Now I'm currently researching advanced deflectors, so it becomes acute. Some of the research, as with the pulse blast weapons, will give you a brand new, let's say, ship. For example, you can research frigates or like a component, but sometimes it's just an upgrade, and you can tell by this arrow upwards it's saying that this is an upgrade of something that you already have. Now, what's important in this research tree is that the research tree is hidden. And I don't just mean that you can't see any like progress after here. Like if you research up, there's obviously going to be something after. That's obvious, like we all know that. But some of the actually starting researches are also hidden. The best way to see this is with diplomacy. If you haven't encountered any other species yet, you will not be able to research their diplomacy. You first have to meet them, and only then after you can research this. So some of the research is hidden as well. Next, let's talk about crash research. So we have our pulse blast weapons, but we don't want this to take 3 years. We want to hurry up, so you can click on this and you can pay the cost for crash research. Now the crash research typically only costs credits. You don't have to pay resources for this. This will allow you to double the speed of the research for this pulse blast weapons. Now let's stay in the research tree for a little bit longer and talk about some other important things. So here on the left bottom you can see how much research you already have. You can stop research and continue it later. There are no problems in that. You can gain pre-research time obviously from researching, but there are also events that will allow you to gain like a pre-research in certain area. For example, I now have an event here where I can investigate an ancient colony ship, so I'm going to do it. And then I can invest in the research of this ship. So this is something that I'm going to do immediately. So because I've done this research, I've invested, now this event actually gave me advanced understanding of basic colonization. So let me show you off in the research. So if you go to basic colonization, over here you can see that we are suddenly already 25% complete. Now there are also events that will take progress away. So you might be 70% in some research, and then there can be an event that will take that away from you. So you have to start again. Now, there are also some other ways you can gain research, and that's through the form of spies. So you're going to be able to send a spy on a mission, and on this mission they can try to steal certain research information from certain areas. So for example, from some enemies, or even allies. You can still do it from allies if you want. And you could also go into diplomacy, and when you're communicating with people, you could try to negotiate a deal for some specific research if they have it, or you can also offer the research that you have. So research can be a really good tool in communicating, so you can send them something that you know and you can get money in return, or you can just increase your relationship with them, and etc. Okay, plus 18. Now, we have started research, or we're going to start after we finish the advanced deflectors on the pulse blast weapons, but you might ask, how do I know where the pulse blast weapon will go? So this is a close-in weapon. As you can see on the right, Maxus Blaster S. And you might be saying, but I don't know to which of my ships is this going to go. Is this going to go on like a mining ship, or is this going to go on an escort? How does that work? Now you're going to go here to the ship design, and you're going to click, and you are going to click on a ship you have. You might click here on this edit, and you can see that this is an Escort 3 ship that I already have. And you can hover over here and you can see this is a laser cannon close-in weapon. So once I finish my research, I will be able to place this instead over here, instead of this laser cannon. Now, typically, if this upgrade is sort of in line, like with the plasma weapons it's going to be, this will get upgraded automatically. All right, now that I've finished my Pulse Blast research, I can click on my escorts. So let me jump to escorts. We can click over here and you can send them to get retrofitted for the upgrades. If you click on the escort right now, you can see it has a laser cannon. And then I'm going to send it to get retrofitted, and it's going to get upgraded for the better level. Now you can do this manually. Typically you don't have to, because typically this will happen automatically. Now if this doesn't happen, you can still create your very own ship design. So you can just click here on the ship designs and you can copy some specific type, and then you can adjust it or upgrade it and try to give that weapon to it yourself. But typically this will just automatically happen if it's in alignment. So as soon as the escort's done, I'm going to show you. Alright, so this is now an escort level 4. So if I click on it, you can see that now I have the Maxus Blaster, which is what I just researched. Let's jump back here to the research window and talk a little bit more about this. So here first you can see the number of research stations. Now this says 2. We have a Ninten research facility and a spaceport. So they're essentially 2 types of research station. There's a specific facility, like this is research facility, and then there is just other places where you can also gain research. So for example, in this case, it's the spaceport. Now, why is this important? Because the number of facilities or proper research station determine how many concurrent projects you can have. So I can click here on 2, but I will not be able to research 2 things at once. Let me just click on something we want to research. Like let's quickly go for, let's say, the basic colonization. And even though I have 2 research projects here, I'm still only researching 1 at a time, and that's this one, because I do not have 2 research facilities. I only have 1. The spaceport does not count. If I were to build a second research facility, I would now be able to have 2 concurrent research projects. Now you can see a picture of this. This is from the beta version, but it looks the same in the full version. So you can see that we are now have 2 research at the same time. Now, in each facility you can assign scientists. This is the last button. So you have different scientists and they give you different bonuses, and you can assign them to different facilities. The facilities themselves also might have some bonus. Here this number is telling you the output of the research station, and that combined together is the actual research that you're sort of gaining per time period to increase your research. Now here you can see your maximum potential research and your actual research output. Now how you can change this? By giving more money into research. So here in the economy window, you can adjust the amount of money that you put into research. Specifically here in this funding level, you can say that I want to put 100% into research. Now, something to keep in mind here is that if this is set to automatic, no matter what change you make here, this will automatically be rewritten to, because it's automatic. So you need to set this to manual, but in that case, you need to keep an eye on your economy yourself. So next thing you want to look at the research is here, new research location. If you find a new research station at some location, you will be able to build a research station there, and you have a list of those over here. So you can see here that I found a proper area for a new research station, which is going to give me 13% construction research bonus. So I can click either here, and then I can click down here to build a mining station. And this is going to cost me some money and also some resources, and then they're going to build this. Now, important thing to note, even if you don't have like a proper research station, you will still be able to do 1 research even if you have just a spaceport, but you will not be able to increase it to 2 unless you have multiple of these proper research centers like we talked about before. here you can see a research bonus amount. Now this obviously affects how quickly you can research, but there is an additional layer to this. Some research you can only do if you have the right amount of this bonus. So you won't be able to start a research unless you have significant enough bonus in that area. An example are going to be some advanced shields. For that you're going to need to have enough in this shield research area. How do you get a research bonus? From the stations, they can give you research themselves, or for example through scientists, which also give you different research bonuses. Alright, I think that's it for a guide about research. Let me know if like a separate guide on like what are the best thing to research at the beginning, because I could do that as well. And let me know if you have some other tips about research. Alright? And you can click on the right to watch my Let's Play of the beta version of Distant Worlds 2. See you there. Bye bye.